Today, we learn about the unsolved mystery of the Axeman of New Orleans in 1918 and how it set the whole town of New Orleans into a crazy stir. On one dreadful night on May 23rd, 1918, Joseph Maggio and his wife were butchered in their apartment, which was above their grocery store that they owned and managed together. Officials found that a panel on the rear door had been chiseled out, and an axe coated with blood was found in the apartment, belonging to Maggio himself. Nothing else was found except for the chalk writing nearby the apartment that read, "Mrs. Joseph Maggio will sit up tonight. Just right, Mrs. Tony." As the investigation progressed, more and more of these murders propped up, and they bore a striking resemblance to the Maggio murders. They were all Italian grocers, killed with their own axe or their razor, in a chiseled-out door panel in the back of their home. Nothing was ever stolen. The murders were out of cold blood. Some victims actually survived the attacks, but they could never describe their attacker. He was mostly described as a dark-clothed young man. From the months of May to September, the brutal murders of Italian grocers and their families around New Orleans left panic in their wake. Rumors began to spread, and people were afraid of their own shadow. The attacker suddenly went dormant in the month of September. No new reports came in. For a few months, the crisis was over, or so it seemed. On a cold night on March 10th, 1919, the Axeman perpetrated his most gruesome crime yet. In the town of Gretna, near New Orleans, an assailant in dark clothes attacked the Cortimiglia family. Charles Cortimiglia died from his wounds. The Axeman turned around and struck his wife and his 2-year-old daughter, which proved fatal. However, his wife ended up surviving the whole ordeal. The bloody attack sent the whole city into panic. On the morning of March 14th, 1919, an editor of the New Orleans Times receives a letter. It is from the claimed Axeman. In this letter, he refers to himself as some sort of immortal being from hell. He calls all the policemen foolish and that he will never be caught. He then states that he loves jazz music, and at exactly 12:15 at night on Tuesday, he will pass over New Orleans, and anyone who isn't playing jazz music will meet their demise. You can read the whole letter in the description below. On that Tuesday night, people played jazz music like their lives depended on it, probably because it did. Clubs and music houses were packed, and neighbors gathered in homes to play music. The city was alive and full of strains of jazz music. A local composer even created a jazz song called "The Mysterious Axeman Jazz," which became a hit in the city. That night, no one died from the Axeman. The Axeman appeared to go dormant once more for a couple of months after the night of the jazz. That is, until the night of August 3rd, 1919, when the Axeman attacked a girl named Sarah Lawman in her home. She survived, but this marked a new change in the Axeman's behavior. He no longer attacked Italian grocers. The town realizes that no one is safe. A few more attacks later, and his final murder is in October, when he strikes the Pepitone family. After that, the Axeman completely disappears, and the city of New Orleans is safe once again. All in all, the Axeman claims 14 victims, 7 dead and 7 injured. The police did not have any clues to his identity. There have been a couple theories, but nothing is really proven. His identity still remains a great mystery to this day. Thanks for watching. I'm Dom, from Criminal Profiles.